For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is VSiN Daily Morning Bets. Here is your host, Josh Appelbaum.
Hello and welcome to VSiN Daily Morning Bets, a quick 15-minute podcast highlighting the top games and biggest line moves that bettors need to know about each day. Today is Wednesday, May 17th.
Game of the night.
For the game of the night, we're going to look toward the biggest game across all sports, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time tonight on TNT, between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. Currently, the Boston Celtics are listed as an 8-point home favorite with a total of 210.5. Now, before we give the breakdown on this game, quick updates here in terms of series prices and futures. The Celtics, to win this series, are a minus 525 favorite. Miami is a plus 400 dog. Boston, on the implied probability, if you convert that minus 525 to basically an odds projection, that's an 84% likelihood that the Celtics advance and win the series. Now, currently at BetMGM, tickets are split down the middle. Public likes Celtics to win this series, but they're scared off by the big number. And the Heat with Jimmy Butler, they're plus 400. That's kind of appealing. So tickets are right down the middle, 50-50, but 93% of the money is on the Celtics here to win this series. Now, if you're looking for a better price on Boston, instead of winning the series straight up, you could go Boston on the spread. Celtics minus 1.5 at minus 195. That means they, of course, need to win by 2 games or more. So 4-2, 4-1 or a sweep there if you're looking to get a better price. And then also the title odds, Celtics. It might be your last time here to get them at some even money. They're plus 100. Denver Nuggets are plus 180, who won last night. Lakers are plus 550, and the Miami Heat are plus 1,600. In terms of tonight's sweat, looks like respective money is going with the Boston Celtics. The Celtics open Game 1 tonight as a 7.5-point home favorite, and we've seen the Celtics get bet up to minus 8. What's notable here is not just the half-point line move to Boston, it's the fact that the public is all over the Miami Heat. The public has taken the points here with Miami. Currently, 66% of bets are going with the Heat. However, despite 2/3 of bets on Miami, this line moved to the Celtics, minus 7.5 to minus 8. So, kind of tells me that some respected money here laid the points here with Boston. Again, if public's on Miami, why is this line going to the Celtics? This would be a classic contrarian favorite, as a favorite is only getting 34% of bets here in Boston. Also, a fade the trendy dog play. Again, typically the public wants to bet on favorites. If they're going to put their hard-earned money down on a game, they want to put their money with quote-unquote the better team. So 9 times out of 10, public will take a favorite. When they take a dog, basically that creates a popular dog, which then loses its value, becomes trendy. So this would be a contrarian spot here to actually lay the points with Boston. Now, what's notable is, where does this next move go? A lot of these books are minus 8, minus 110 Boston, but I see a couple books minus 8 at minus 115. So do we see this line creep up to 8.5? Now, what's super important here is not just what side you like, but what number you got. Perfect example, last night, I had the Nuggets minus 6. I was feeling great about that game. They opened minus 5. They closed 7.5. Obviously, if Jokic hits that meaningless, but it was meaningful for a lot of us, he hits that second free throw. Boom! They cover the 6, and I win my bet. I push my minus 6. But why is that important? Because if you got a late 6.5, 7.5, again, you would have lost your bet there on the Nuggets. So it's all about getting the right number. So do we see this line creep up to 8.5? That's something that I'll be looking forward to today. But in the spot, you have seen chalk favorites do very well. You had your dog cover last night, although somewhat deceiving. If you got a 5.5 or less, the game opened 5. You actually had the favorite cover last night. But all systems are based upon the closing line, of course. But you have seen favorites 42-31 against the spread this postseason, 58%. If you are a home favorite, you're 34-24 ATS, 59%. And if you're a home favorite with a line move in your direction, 20-13 against the spread, 61%. So a lot of these systems here definitely lean toward favorites. In terms of the total, we have seen a little bit of money hit this over. Total open at 210. Now it's up to 210.5. Currently 71% of bets, but 83% of the money at DraftKings is taking the over. So kind of a both pro and Joe bet split here to the over. What's notable to me is both these teams really trending over recently. In their last 11 games, both teams are 8-3 to the over. Miami, by the way, is 8-1 to the over their last 9 games on the road. And the Celtics, including the regular season and postseason, they're 28-19, 60% to the over at home. Also, I think if you're, and I'm going to take the over here, by the way, I'll give you my official cap when we get to Josh's sweats, but I'm going to go over 210.5. One reason I like the over, fresh legs. When you're betting unders, you really like for those late series unders, Game 6, and of course the coup de grace, the best of all, is a Game 7 under when you have tired legs, when you're locking down on defense. Game 1, especially with a long layoff, you got fresh legs here for both teams. The Miami Heat have not played since May 12th. They've been off for 5 days. Celtics have been off for 3 days here. So fresh legs ready to go. It sounds good good to me when you're betting an over here, especially seeing this line tick up, of course, across the market. And I'll also give you a little bit of a nugget here. As a Boston Celtics fan myself, I'm holding a plus 360 on the Celtics to win the NBA title. They're down to plus 100. I'm feeling pretty good about that. But I did read and I heard yesterday that the Celtics were practicing, and Al Horford, their veteran, had to stop practice. And basically he was saying that the team was way too loose. They were joking around. They're having fun. And he said, hey, we got to lock in. No more joking around here. This is the eve of the Eastern Conference Finals. So you can look at that one of two ways. Either they're loose and that's a good thing, and they're playing free and ready to go, or maybe they're not dialed in enough. So you can interpret that one of two ways here. But for tonight, again, we've seen the line go to the Celtics despite public on Miami. Looks like a sharp play laying the points with Boston. Do we get to 8.5 today? That's what I'll be looking toward. But also some respect and money going over here, 210 to 210.5 with some fresh legs for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Semifinals, 8:30 p.m. tonight on TNT.
Best of the rest.
For the best of the rest, now let's look toward a jam-packed Major League Baseball slate today with 15 games across the board, and I'm going to go to an early game here. I have an early sweat on the Detroit Tigers. Let's go Tigers, baby. This is a 1:10 p.m. Eastern Time game, interleague matchup here. Pittsburgh Pirates at Detroit. Currently, Detroit is a minus 155 home favorite, with Pittsburgh a plus 140 road dog. The total in this game is 7.5. Now, the Tigers are 19-21, but they won last night 4-0, blanking the Pirates as a minus 125 home favorite. If you look at the Pirates, they're 22-20, and they're going to hand the ball today to lefty Rich Hill, who's 3-3 with a 4.35 ERA. Detroit is going to go with Erod, Eduardo Rodriguez, 4-2 with a 1.57 ERA. So what have we seen across the board here? Well, big reason that I'm going to lay with Detroit is got a lot of respected money going Tigers here. Tigers open as low as minus 140, minus 145. Now you're up to minus 155. I see a couple shops at minus 160. So line continues to move. When I wrote the Sharp Report to this morning, continuing to move here in favor of Detroit. Currently 66% of bets, but 88% of the money is going with the Tigers. So it tells me that's a heavy combination of both pro and Joe support. Quite a few system matches on Detroit. A non-division favorite off a win. Those teams are 150 and 85 this year, 64%. Tigers also have value as a correlative betting value play in terms of a favorite low total. So game open at 8. For the total, it's down to 7.5. Looks like some under money came in. But again, fewer amount of expected runs scored, more likely to come from quote-unquote that better team, which would be Detroit here based on the minus number, the favorite designation. Then also an interleague favorite with the lack of familiarity benefiting quote-unquote the better team. Mentioned that the under got hit, 8 down to 7.5. Currently 36% of bets, but 72% of the money is going under here. But also another reason why I like Detroit in this spot, Eduardo Rodriguez, in the month of May, 2 starts, he's 2-0. He has a 0.00 ERA, 15 innings, hasn't given up a run. So either I just jinxed the crap out of him, or we're pretty excited to sweat a guy who's throwing the ball great right now. And also recent performance, Tigers are 9-4 over their last 13 games. Pittsburgh has really struggled after a great start. They're just 2-12 over their last 14. We have a good sharp move to Detroit. I have quite a few system matches. I'm going to back Erod today. Give me the Detroit Tigers minus 155. The NBA and NHL playoffs are the best time of year to become a VSiN Pro subscriber. Get access to hourly pro tips, best bets from VSiN experts, daily articles, power rankings, and expanded digital content and tools to help you become a better. Just go to VSiN.com/subscribe for more information.
Josh's sweats.
So for Josh's sweats, officially here, I'm going to take the over in the Boston Celtics game. I like this line move to the over. Not huge, but 210 up to 210.5. I do see a couple books like they may be going up to 211. So maybe get some closing line value if you hit this thing early. I mentioned the bet split, 70% of bets, but almost 85% of the money is on the over. Teams have really trended over recently. Celtics have been great at home to the over, and also fresh legs. I think that's a big advantage here to this over. And again, if you're making me take the spread, I'm going to go Celtics or nothing. I just don't love the fact that you're getting that Al Horford stopping practice. Are they too loose? And as a Celtics fan, I can just tell you, sometimes when they lay these big numbers, they sometimes lose outright or they just don't come to play here. So if anything, it's with the system matches and line move, it's Celtics or nothing. But I feel like I have a stronger edge on the total to the over than I do with Boston. I can tell you one thing, I'm not going to take the Miami Heat here. There's no way I'm going to be with the public with the line going away from the public toward the sharp side here. So it's Celtics or nothing on the spread. Again, if you like Celtics, it's the -8. If you do like Miami, at least try to shop around and wait and get an 8.5. But it's Celtics or nothing for me on the spread, but my only official bet for Josh's Sweats, I'm going to the over with some fresh legs, over 210.5. Also going with the with the Detroit Tigers, as I just mentioned. Sharp move to the Tigers, -145-ish to -155. We have interleague favorite system match. Erod's throwing the ball great. Let's hopefully start the day with an early winner, 110 game. I'm on Detroit, -155. Then one more for you. This is a team I bet last night. They came through for me. I'm going to go right back to the well tonight. Let's go to Camden Yards. Let's get some crab cakes tonight. Some soft shell crabs at Obrecki's. I actually have some relatives here who grew up in Bethesda and Chevy Chase, and me and my dad would always go down to Camden Yards when I was growing up, and we would spend hours at Obrecki's. My dad would be in heaven as a Red Sox fan, going to have crabs and hanging out with my uncle and my cousins. Always a good time there. But anyway, for this sweat here, I'm going back to with Baltimore. The Orioles today, 6:35 p.m. Eastern time game. It's game 3 of 4 in this series against the Angels. They split the first two games. Angels won the opener 9-5 as a -115 road favorite. That was the Ohtani game. Then Orioles bounced back with a 7-3 win last night as a -150 home favorite. Well, for tonight, sharp move to Baltimore. They opened -130. They're up to -140, so good steam move in their favor. Also pitching advantage here. Kyle Bradish, righty, 1-1 with a 4.56 ERA for Baltimore, going up against Griffin Canning, who's 2-1, but has an ERA of 6.38. So aside from the line move toward Baltimore, the Orioles getting 75% of bets, but almost 90% of the money. And in the spot, home favorites off a win, getting 10 cents of steam or more. They're 58-27, 68% this year. Baltimore has been good in the spot, 18-3 as a favorite. They're 14-7 at home. We did see a little bit of under money come in. Total open at 9. It's juiced up under, -115, -120. So it looks like it may be creeping down to 8.5 if it continues this way. And the forecast looks pretty good to the under. It's mid-60s, 10-mile-per-hour winds blowing in from center. But I want to bet against Griffin Canning. He's been getting lit up in Baltimore here with a pretty decent number with a sharp line move in their favor. I'm going O's. Let's go Baltimore. I got the O's at -140. That about does it for today's VSiN Daily Morning Bets podcast on Wednesday, May 17th. But a reminder, if you're looking for more VSiN in your life, and who doesn't want more VSiN in their life? The Sports Betting Network, I should say. Not the Ohio State, but the Sports Betting Network, which I am very humbly proud to be a part of. But anyway, sign up for our free newsletter. Wake up every morning to great sports betting content, letting you know all the big games, insights you need each day. Of course, letting you know in particular what's going on at VSiN. Just go to vsin.com/newsletter, plug in your email, hit submit, and then boom, you wake up every morning to our great sports betting insights. We'd love for you to become a member as well. vsin.com/subscribe, only $9.99, $10 here for your first full month of service. You can test it out, see if you like it. I bet you will. You get all the best bet picks sent to your inbox multiple times throughout the day, a live stream of all the VSiN shows, all the articles beyond the paywall, and of course those great DraftKings percentages, which will quickly become one of your favorite tabs to bookmark, looking at bets and dollars and line moves on every game. That's vsin.com/subscribe. Of course, follow us on Twitter at VSiN Live. You can follow me at Josh_Insights. I got to go get ready for Mitch and Paulie. I'm going to jump on Follow the Money here for my weekly Wednesday spot. So you can catch me there. And then, of course, you can also catch the Market Insights pod. This is the appetizer, morning bets, Market Insights. That's your main course. Typically comes out around 3 o'clock. Should have a few more baseball games for you. We'll continue to monitor that Celtics game as well. But enjoy the sweats today, guys. Good luck. And as always, hopefully you can cash some tickets today. Because as the wise man of VSiN likes to say, the Godfather, that's what it's all about. Enjoy the sweats, everyone. Have a great day.